self-socializing networks and development of new technologies are signs of a radical transformation of our world. All these are challenges addressed to the educational environment. In this activity, there will be a presentation made by our foreign guests from Russia, India, and the Netherlands, as well as teachers in our college and from other Romanian cities. This session is a good opportunity to exchange experience regarding various aspects of the use of IT means in education, which have the potential to generate curriculum improvement. I wish to start with my colleagues, and I wish to present it our guests. Da. Cum începem? Punem un pic... Trebuie să-mi pui slide-ul. Just a minute. We share. Okay. Come on. Sylvia is my colleague. Sylvia. Hi. Soma.
I am glad to introduce Mrs. Soma Singh. Soma has been in Delhi Public School, Ghaziba, for the last 17 years. For the last 4 years, the school has been the country's top performers in terms of academic rigor. Mrs. Singh is a science teacher at secondary level, and she is the HOD science coordinator at all levels in her school. In her school as well, Mrs. Singh is currently coordinating the Microsoft pilot project Classroom of the Future, and she is also the leader of the Showcase School program.
Hello.
Hello.
This is Soma Singh from DPS Gazara, and thank you ma'am for such a nice introduction. It's indeed an honor to be a part of this elite group of educationists. I'm excited at the same time, I'm still apprehensive. So we're here to share our thoughts about 21st century learning environment. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes.
So, shared by, just excuse me for a while. So here I am.
Ok. Dă următorul. Da, a început să-și prezinte. Deci nu s-a început să-și prezinte.
Yes. So here I'm, this is my school, Delhi School, Ghaziabad, shared map. The school has covered each of the steps by in the India's top performing school for last 4 consecutive years. The 8th topmost school, top seriously still in terms of our school principal is national award, and our students perform given at the national and international level. We are here to exchange our on 21st century learning environments. 21st century learning environments, as Alvin Toffler had said, that the illiterates of 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. So with that spirit, the 21st century learning environments must allow youth flexibility to try to to make choice to start over again. Does the group agree with me over that? So, in order to understand, in order to create the right environment for the 21st century learner, it is important, it is imperative to understand the 21st century learner. I hope the group agrees that the 21st century learner, they have short attention spans, they get easily bored, they resist memorization, resist busy working. They're self-learners, they believe in trial and method, they're always have mobile phones, they go on their mobile devices. First, learning is social activity and that needs to be shared with others. Hence, for schools, it becomes imperative to create the relevant learning environments. The learner needs to be engaged with the right kind of pedagogy, the right kind of resources and tools. The 21st century learning environment has to be flexible, purposeful and must allow intellectual risk taking. Today is the world of collaborative learning. Gone are the days you keep a best piece of equipment to share with others. These are the times you cannot because digital work. Hence, people run talks, there are online communities where this is where there's the time of shift and sustainability is the word of peace. So 21st century learning and must guide 24/7 access to tools and resources. 21st century learning skill outcomes need to be attend to, and the relevant and applied curriculum needs to be in place for this learner. The assessment has to transform in order to be informal and informed. The social and emotional connection for this generation is very important, and this is what the schools need to cater to. The culture of creativity and innovation needs to be motivated in the school. The 21st century learning practices must support the teaching and learning of the 21st century skills. It must enable the students to learn the outcomes of the 21st century. They must be able to solve the real world problems. The project-based learning, the applied learning is what is important for this learner. The community projects can involve this learner in a better manner and may connect the learner to the. Is there something wrong? Yes. So this learner has to be connected to the community. The learning environment must allow access to the quality learning tools, technologies, and resources. It must support expanded community and international involvement. This is what we are doing today. So this kind of an environment is important for the learners as well. The flexible seating arrangement, the flexible school structures are very important to allow this kind of learning environment. The students need to be inspired to become creative problem solvers, intellectual risk takers, and the schools across the globe are redesigning their curriculum, their pedagogy, their assessment towards the same. Here I would like to quote an example. Hello, are we there?
Yes, yes.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
So here I'm sharing an example of 20th century learning-based project that we had implemented at our school. Project has been implemented for class 8, that is grade 8, India, and this project of future. So we give the project for people to learn to our students. The class is divided 8 and these groups were given 4 topics. So the 4 different topics that we had splits were space management, energy management, water management, and waste management. 2 groups were working on one topic, thereby there were groups and 2 groups working on one topic. So, this strategy was of collaborative that we have implemented this group. The students had conducted surveys using tools. Each student in the group was given a particular role to perform as it is shown on the slide. In each group there There was a researcher, there was a presenter, there was a manager, there was an IT support, there was a team leader. So these are students in a group of 5 each. Since the class strength is 40, so these students are there in a group of 5 each, and each person in a group of 5 themselves. The students had used their devices, the tablets with Office 365 tools to collaborate with each other. They had conducted surveys using the quick survey tools. They shared the work with each other using Office 65 like one online, and they'd done the PowerPoint presentations. They had created PowerPoint presentations using PowerPoint online. Students had studied the local community, they had gone out to the local people, they had done surveys and they had recorded the surveys. They had created presentations and speaks and PowerPoint, and they had compiled the reports according to Office 365 tools. The students themselves had defined the parameters of success. So this slide shows you how students find the parameters of success, that the tablets had allowed them able to research on a particular topic. It has knowledge. So with this deployment plan, one school had made their backlight of the installation easy. The research is record the lessons in class, the books, and the devices, the work was implemented, the way of the gone down. So this project where person group was defined and they worked on a project which was related to the word. They were working with community that had allowed us to implement differential learning as well. So each person's defined role as per his capability allowed us to implement differential learning in a right manner. So differential learning, as you can see this slide, celebrates diversity, acknowledge individual differences, the personal development is allowed, involvement in learning process is more, and personalized feedback was possible. The flipped classroom approach the teachers implement allowed students to improve themselves in knowledge and comprehension at home. When they came back to class, to be involved at higher order thinking skills like applications, evaluation, creating the solutions to problems. Flipped classroom approach was enabled this project of fast learning, sensory learning environments, transformation, curriculum, assessment techniques, and it is set traditional functions with education as a deep dependent in this times. Look ahead is that when comments are very dependent, the need for self-realization, ethical metamorphosis that active planning of the school and just had that the student we need this delegate. That's all about my presentation. Are there any questions?
Yes. Your goals are very interesting, but I want to answer me a question, please. Is there any interest in the changing the curricula at the level of the national institution?
Yes, ma'am, there is a change. We are soon going in for the international baccalaureate. We had the CBSE curriculum at the school so far. This year we are the candidate school for the international baccalaureate, and at the primary level we are undergoing this transformation.
Okay, very well in this case. Congratulations. Thank you very much for your intervention. Great, thank you. The next presentation is Paul. It's made by Paul. Please, Claudia, have a few words about you.
Yes. Paul, well, obviously, I'm a student I'm not a professor. So
I would like to have a short introduction of you. May I speak? Yes?
Oh, of course, go ahead.
So Paul Verhagen is a Dutch-American student at the Amsterdam University College, specializing in science and philosophy. He has also attended courses of physics, astronomy, Confucianism. He is interested in Oriental philosophy and studying the Mandarin language. He is particularly interested in applying scientific discoveries in society and education, and acknowledges the value of interdisciplinary education in the formation of well-rounded global citizens. Although he is a student, he has created a university course entitled Big Data Think Tank, whose program he is going to present to you today. Okay.
Thank you very much for that introduction. Bear with me, I will start my PowerPoint. There we go. Can everyone see this?
Just a moment, please.
Let's see. Okay. So, first of all, I'm not a professor. I'm not an expert in the field of digital technologies. But I am part of the generation that grew up in the digital age, right? Like my generation, this is the web for pretty much everything. We use it to communicate, we use it to entertain ourselves, we use it to every now and again do homework. But we don't really stop to think about how important it actually is that we have this technology, and we don't stop to think about the implications that it has. In this that I want to talk today, I want to talk about the relevance of reflecting on our position in history in the 21st century. We call it the digital age. I think we should educate ourselves to this. So, start like what? There is an educational gap between what we use technology for and what we understand of it. And let me give a very quick example in the form of Edward Snowden. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to go into politics. But when Edward Snowden first leaked his files to the Guardian in the United Kingdom, the British government demanded that they destroyed a laptop so that the files were open because the data was in there somehow. Now, I don't need to elaborate in front of this audience that this doesn't make sense. The data is not in the laptop. Destroying the laptop doesn't destroy the data either. But there's this gap between what politicians understand of big data as a digital paradigm and their capacity to legislate on it. Now, I think this is indicative of a lack of understanding of the digital age across social domains. I think it's not limited to only politics. I think that most people don't fully appreciate the novelty of digital stuff. So that's the purpose of the course, is to prepare students for the future in the digital economy by reflecting on what it exactly means to have a digital economy. Now this course is taught at Amsterdam University College, as was said in my introduction. So let's get started. I want to talk mostly about this particular slide. The course is divided into different sections, and we named these. The blue one is called historical, green is technical, and then red is sociological. And each of these offers a different type of perspective that you can take on a paradigm. Each of these offers a different insight as well, and if you focus on only one of these, which traditionally has been the case, then you lose some of the novelty of the other one. So, let me give you an example. Most studies from most courses on the digital paradigm focus on the middle section, on the technical block. And they deal with network infrastructure, they deal with algorithms, they deal with programming. But if you only focus on the technical elements of it, you lose some of the societal significance, and you lose some of the historical novelty as well. So, let me elaborate a bit on why we chose this particular structure. We start with the historical block. We think it's important to have a historical understanding of what has led up to this paradigm shift, like what has led up to this digital age. There's a fascinating relationship between technology and societal change, all the way back to the agricultural revolution, which enabled the building of a food surplus, the settlement of land, and the establishment of cities, which ultimately leads to the stratification of society. Similarly, our modern Skype conference that we have right now would not be possible without its technological development. there is a very long narrative of information technologies. And when I say information technology, people tend to think hard drives, computers, iPhones. But if you think of information technology as a technology that helps store information and give it on to the next generation, then it includes inventions like the book, the printing press, written language, and language itself. There's a long, long development of what we do with technology, and our new form is, of course, grounded in computers. So it's important we talk about the history of computation as well. Of course, the internet is a big step in the historical paradigm, so that's also part of there, a brief history of the internet. And this all leads to something that we can call the information society. Our modern day society, our data addicted society, where we are on the continual processing of society and continual access to society. Which leads us to the question, is big data, is the digital age a paradigm shift? Now, this first block is aimed at providing some historical narrative, some historical background as to why big data is interesting, why digital technology is something new. So now we can delve into the technical elements of it in the green block. Now, when I talk to Piatra-Neamţ, I try and explain to her how Skype, how email works. She's very confused, and I try to patiently explain to her how it works. But ultimately, these discussions always lead to a single point where she asks me, but where's the internet? Now, these are kind of questions, and we want to avoid these. They come from our lack of understanding of the technological infrastructure that underlies the digital age. And it's important that students get into it. So we want to talk about algorithmic thinking, machine learning, data storage, all these applications and technological limitations that come with this that underlie our modern society. The place where I study, Oxford University College, is very close to one of the biggest internet hubs in the world. It's the connection between the United States and Europe. There's also an institute that works with C.N.I, which generates tremendous amounts of data in processing. So we want to talk about the use of data in science as well. There's a modern way of doing science, which is based on modeling rather than experimental evidence, which is a very interesting development from a philosophy of science perspective. Now, finally, I want to reach the sociological part. So having established this historical narrative, having established the technological understanding of digital technology, we want to talk about contemporary issues within society, such as power shift from governments to business. Now, corporations and governments take different attitudes when it comes to digital technologies. Corporations are primarily out to use this new technology to generate profit, or to maximize the profit. Governments, on the other hand, are in the business of regulating these things. We tend to object to companies like Google knowing a lot about us, where we live, what we do on the internet, what we shop, where we buy stuff. But we ask governments about is being okay or not. There's a problem here because governments, we're not entirely okay with the idea of governments spying on us. That corporations, they can really do this. So there's difference in attitude when it comes to digital age in corporations and government. I think it lies at the heart of a lot of contemporary problems in society, especially in the United States. The second point is that big data and the digital age has created a definite have and have-nots. There are definite winners and there are definite losers in this paradigm. I saw a graph recently where the percentage of the population that was connected to the web was listed. And among the top were all Scandinavian countries, so Finland, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, and the Netherlands. They all had rates of 90% or higher. The bottom five were Myanmar, Congo, Namibia, and other countries, with less than 1% of the population online. Now, arguably, the countries that have less people online, so Namibia and Congo, are in states of disastrous internal disruption. And they would benefit from giving voice to these concerns on the internet, yet they don't have access to it. So I would say that digital access to information is going to be one of the fun drivers quality, and we better pay some attention. Now, finally, revolutions and empowerment in big tech society, all the way at the bottom right. The Arab Spring and Umbrella Revolution recently in Hong Kong were both fueled by social media. Social media has a way of giving voice to people that normally do not have a voice, and it has been used in the political sense as well. Simultaneously, things like Boko Haram and ISIS introduced the social platform as a way of fueling a campaign of terror. So there is no inherent ethical color to social media, but it's being used in ways that are novel and are very interesting to discuss. Now, objective and learning outcomes. Obviously, we want to guide students through various aspects on big data, historical, technological, and social. And we want to provide a basis of knowledge that does not lie in a single discipline. Professor Singh already mentioned that we need flexibility. I come from a liberal arts and science background with interdisciplinary education. And having insights from other disciplines can be very, very fruitful in establishing a broader narrative and helping understand what we're talking about on a more profound level. And that's the ultimate goal, to allow students to form a critical opinion on contemporary digital issues and articulate this opinion. By only focusing on the societal, we lose some of the technological novelty. By only focusing on the historical, you lack understanding in the network infrastructure that you're talking about. We need people that are experts, yes, but we also need people that know a little bit about all of these different things so they can form an opinion. Now, big data and education. This is my final slide. I think that digital age is something that you can't avoid anymore. You can try and live without it, but it's not very effective. And I think it should be part of every general curriculum across the world to talk about this digital paradigm. What does it mean? Why is it different than what came before? And how does it change your lives? I think big data has a future as a cornerstone in any sort of liberal arts science program, and any program for that matter. And I think it's part of the future. So, thank you very much for your attention. If you have any questions, I would be glad to answer.
Just a minute.
Yes.
I have a question, of course.
Yes.
Do you think the society is ready to manage a big data society in education?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question? Or was
Yes.
this echo?
Do you think the society is ready to manage a big data society in education?
I would say that our society is already a big data society. There are many, many ways in which our society is dependent on the processing information. For instance, if you don't have computers to manage electricity flows, you get blackouts, you get gigantic blackouts. Our traffic lights also use big data for system. Our governments use big data to make sure that health goes through that is needed in social inequality. I think that we are more than ready to have a big data education. I think it's a crucial part of any modern curriculum. I would say that the use of big data is so far implemented in society that we can't afford to avoid it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Do you have any question? No? No, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next guest.
Our next guests are from Moscow,
Yes.
and we are glad to introduce Mrs. Elena Davidova-Martinova, a Microsoft Innovative Expert Educator, and Mrs. Maria Zhuzhukova from Gymnasium 1517 in Moscow. Their school has been our partner for more than 4 years. We have successfully collaborated directly for the interdisciplinary contest ProSoft at NT, which we organize each year, and also for the Scientia Unescamus conference in Moscow. Their presentation will be about forming 21st century skills in the learning environment.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, do you hear me well?
Yes.
Yes, so we see. We see you.
We can hear you.
You can hear, please. Okay.
We create ways to from 21st century skills in our school. We create learning environment which allows to from 21st century skills of our students. Important role of creating this space for sure has proper use of IT technologies. Such UCHI in the biggest school in Moscow, take place. We have 5,000 students, 500 teachers, and 10 educational buildings. We work in new educational conditions. In our speech by 21st century skills, we mean development of critical thinking, creativity, teamwork, cross-cultural understanding, self-direction, and ICT skills. Next will continue my colleague Maria Tsizyukova.
Thank you. So, in educational space of 21st century, using IT technologies as a learning tool presumes not only searching, organizing, and sending information by ICT, but forming of new knowledge of developing solutions, product, concepts based on knowledge. First of all, in such big educational institution as our school, well, we mentioned that we have 10 educational buildings. It is required to establish communication. For this purpose, information field, which is used by students, teachers, parents, and administrations, was recognized in our high school. First of all, it's our school portal, which helps us to quickly communicate and solve current tasks in such a big school. It's electronic journal, which has lots of functions such as marks and comments from teachers, contact with parents, announcements, and messages. We use the informational field of few websites such as website about our students, website of our conference, and interactive website community. You can follow the life of our high school in social networking. Arrange communication let us to help and develop new directions in educational field, like robototechnics, 3D modeling, and international education programs. Developing robotics help us cooperation with scientific centers, universities, and federal programs helped us to develop cooperation with robotics. Students from grade 5th to 11th involved in robotics. And the result of first year of our work is the win of our students in federal contest RoboFest. On international conference in April in our high school, there will be a contest of robots and a workshop from scientists which do robotics. By the way, we invite everyone to take part in our event. Getting ready to open such a new way as 3D modeling took us over a year. Students and teachers learned and 3D modeling classes. And since this year, there is our own 3D modeling studio in our high school. Students take part in big project between schools, which called the Station of the Future. Developing 3D modeling also helped us taking part in virtual exhibition where you can see lots of 3D printers and other technologies. Modern communicative systems in our school let our students to learn in remote international programs. For example, we take part in team-based digital programs with cooperation with Docker School, which is quite a new way to work for us because it helps us to use both remote, online classes and big meetings in our high school students. We help our students to be designers of ICT products when they create ICT products that others can use. For example, if students create an information resource and make it available on the internet They created an ACT program others can use. And the project lasts beyond the learning activity and can be used for and enjoyed by an outside audience. For example, social network community for children with special needs. Our students act as designers. ICT is supporting their real-world problem solving and innovation. Social network community made by our students is part of the educational field of our high school. As social network community is modern social service, which helps to communicate for students, teachers, scientists, and professors from different universities from different countries. In our educational field, students use ICT to support knowledge construction, and the ICT is required for constructing this knowledge. And also, students are able to create an ICT program or product for authentic users. We are keep learning, and we are really interested in modern experience of our schools. For example, today is quite interesting to listen to all the presentations, and I'm looking forward to following presentations. So we welcome everyone to share their experience and to listen to us sharing some of our experience in our conference in Moscow in April. And we really love to see everyone there in Moscow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Doriți să vă luați și acum data că e Okay. I have a question, of course, again.
Okay.
Do you have a specialist who controls the site, a team of experts, or can the students upload their work themselves to your site?
Could you please repeat
Yes,
the question?
yes. Do you have a specialist or a team of experts, or can the students upload their work to the site themselves? You have yes.
Well, I would say that a few of our teachers are quite specialists, which can use both ICT technologies to help our students to create their ways in social networking using their ICT abilities and help them to develop their ICT abilities.
Okay, thank you very much.
Maria, even I have something to say. Yeah, Maria. So, in fact, my students have also been working on many different science projects. One of the students had won the CBSE regional level and he participated in the Taiwan Science Fair. So, can we somehow connect and do some collaborative projects in science? Your school, your students, and our students?
Of course, you're welcome to work with us. There are different ways for it. For example, you can come to our conference in April, so we have different events and collaboration offline. But also, we can have different online ways to communication. Well, we can share our experience in social networking. You can, your students can take part in our work of our website community. For example, well, there are lots of ways to communicate both offline and online, so I really love that, and for you, your colleagues and students to be part of this collaboration. So, well, first of all, I'd really love you to come to our conference. So perhaps we can work on that field first.
Actually, that's really very interesting, and it's nice that we could collaborate. In fact, we have a robotics club at our school, there's a science innovators club, so there are quite a few similarities that we have. So probably we can collaborate further and communicate in future. Very soon we can connect in other ways online, or maybe we can go in for some exchange programs in future. So I really look forward for such partnership with some schools. Thank you.
Actually, it would be great to have some kind of workshop or webinar with the students about robotics. We'd love to hear about your experience. So, hope for future collaboration here.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions?
No. We have a question. Just a minute.
Excuse me, I can't hear you.
Just a moment. Just a moment. We
Don't
translate.
worry, we translate. So, our colleague asks if the study of robotics is in the national curriculum.
Repeat it, please.
So, is the study of robotics in the national curriculum?
We can't hear you.
No.
Do your students study robotics in the national curriculum?
Is
Is
robotics
in the
in the national curriculum?
Or is there robotics in the national curriculum?
Yes, this is the question.
Okay, so robotics is quite in trend now, and I would say there is a new way of studying, which is quite popular and quite modern now, and especially well, in our country. So different educational centers, international education centers here in Moscow, are working on robotics, and it's quite a trend, I would say, to study robotics in school now. So we're trying to work with different universities, centers, innovation centers on this task, if that's what you're asking. Of course, I can't quite hear you, but I hope what I said is helpful. So, is it?
Thank you for your answer. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
Do you have any question? Thank you very much for your presentation. Thank you.
Okay. Our next guest is Associate PhD Professor at Alexandru Ioan Cuza University, Mr. Adrian Stenek, yes? The Dean of the Faculty of Computer Science, Iași, and the honorific chairman of our contest, the interdisciplinary contest Prosoft at MT.
Puteți să-mi prezentarea? Hello everyone. I will talk about something different in comparison with the previous presentation. I will talk about a research project where I work with my students from second and third year, and also with my master students and with PhD students also. It's a research project of type KISS-TERRA project, where we are 4 partners. One partner is from France, one from Austria, one from Turkey, and of course we are from Romania. My presentation? Okay. In this project, we try to build a better Google component. Our project is related to image search. In this context, we try to work with user credibility. Credibility of users and credibility of sources. Some users from the internet are more serious, are better in comparison with other users. Also resources. For example, we can have an image with a cat on the internet with the title cat, but you can also have a picture with a friend with nickname cat. This kind of users, this kind of images are not in the same credibility level. Dați-mi dumneavoastră slide-urile. Dați-mi slide-urile de mai departe. I put on one slide the architecture of the system. The system is very complex. In this system, we work mainly with text processing. Next. Here is the team. The project from Turkey, Romania, Austria, and France. Next. The architecture of the project. The project is very complex with a lot of components and modules. And now, on this presentation, I want to present a part from one component, the E component, the red component. Only a small part from the E component. Why we want to do diversification in our project? If you search Paris on the Google, we receive a lot of Eiffel Tower. 1, 2, 3 page with Eiffel Tower. The results are very similar. In our project, we want to put the results related to the Eiffel Tower in the same cluster, in the same group, and to offer something different, like museums from Paris, like C.N.I, like, I don't know, and other things from Paris. I put few slides related to the diversification problem. Next. What we use in our project, we use a semantic resource. This resource, Iago, is very big, over 200 megas of text data with relation between nodes. For example, in this image, you can see Max Planck, which won the Nobel Prize in 1919. He was born in Kiel, which is located in Germany. Also, we have the Kiel is a city, similar names from the city, for the city in German or in Italian, and so on. Next. 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 What we do? I put a use case here. In this example, we search with our system tennis player. In this case, we go to the Iago resource and extract from the Iago instances of tennis player. In Iago are few thousand of tennis players, like the Romanian tennis players, American tennis players, but also are the best player tennis like Rafael Nadal, Roger Federer, Djokovic, and so on. With this kind of instance, we perform a search in our system, in our database, and in the end, we concatenate the results, and for every search, we put only one image. But if you click on one image, you see thousands of images with the same player, tennis player. This is the result with our system. You can see are different players of tennis, also are players of table tennis. Next. And we perform the same search with tennis player on Google. What is happening in Google? In Google are a lot of similar results. For example, Maria Sharapova appeared 3 or 4 times on the same page. Djokovic appeared 2 times. Federer appeared 3 times, and so on. Also, in our system, we perform the search with tennis player on court. Similar, we replace tennis player with a lot of instances from Iago. We perform few search with different names, and we obtain something similar with the previous case. Anyway, we see the player and also we see the court. It's something related to the tennis player on court. When we perform the same search on the Google, next, is something strange here. The tennis players are somewhere in the back, and in the front are a lot of courts. The focus is not on the tennis player, is on the court in this case. Okay, we do an evaluation of our system, and we check from first 100 of results which the system is better, our system or the Google system. We can see how for tennis player on court, tennis player born after 1980, our system is better in this case. But in some cases, like in a museum case or in museum in New York, our system and the Google system are similar. I have a movie presentation at this address. Anyway, in few cases, our system is better. What I don't say yet, because the IAGO resource is very big, one search in our system took around 1, 2, 3 minutes, a lot of time. It's very hard to compare with Google. They have a very big database, which is very well indexed. They give an answer in few seconds, milliseconds, in comparison with our system. But in some cases, from the semantic point of view, our system is better. Thank you for your attention. If you have any questions. How I say on this project, I work with my students. This part with diversification is a master thesis. I work with Alexandra. It was on first slide. Alexandra presents this kind of work at master thesis and received the maximum grade, of course. Thank you.
We will introduce now two teachers from our college, Mrs. Gabriela Blaga and Mr. Nicu Luca. Mrs. Gabriela Blaga is a Microsoft Innovative Expert Educator and the teacher of computer science. And Mr. Nicu Luca is an arts teacher and has a keen interest in using modern technologies. Their presentation will focus on the exploration of the possibilities of using multimedia in order to create online lessons.
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you again. Okay. Okay. On our last year conference, we spoke about how we use in our school services and laptops in our effort to develop the one-to-one learning system. In our last year, we focused on using some new application like OneNote, Office Mix, and in the last month, Sway. On today's presentation our today presentation is about Office Mix. Please, innovative way to make students learn better through interactive online lessons. Just a moment. Okay. So with Office Mix, we can create multimedia lessons by inserting voice over video and movie from online libraries in which we can explain the key points of the lesson. Students can review materials at home and reserve classroom times to ask big questions, discuss in groups, and focus on difficult material. A good way to analyze the results of students' work is inserting quizzes and in different formats. You see true, false, multiple choices, response, free response, etc. And quizzes that will help teachers to find out the subject to focus on class. We have a short presentation of our colleague, Nicu, on using this Office Mix in creating interactive lessons. Please.
Okay. Hello to all of you. I try to, my English in the first time, it's my second language, and if I make mistake, excuse me in advance. But I will try to communicate with you my explorations immediately. Okay. Just a moment. Okay. I will try this. In art, if you can't draw, in art, if you can draw, you can speak. This is a way to find the blocks of the creativity. And this is a problem with students. If I have discovered that if I manage to put order in the students' efforts, so that they could get a better result, their motivation and involvement increase accordingly. That is why, by stirring their curiosity and by visual exploration, I have tried to find ways in which to change my students' frustration of being unable to achieve good results into fascination of discovering, so that is how has to be done. The students' ability considerably increase, being there reflected into the drawings or pictures they make. A picture says more than 1,000 words. A problem here when we see a lot of words, feeling we have, it's we try harder to understand. And, this is a block in the students. A sequence of pictures and keywords is selected and arranged in a certain sense, causing the viewer joy of discovery of certain understandings and experiences that using words alone cannot achieve. This this is a part of what I try to achieve with online lessons. And I try here to show you online are two lessons here, and my images you see. If I click there, I go to the Office Mix site. This lesson is in Romanian language, and I will try to show you the structures and the instruments I use there. Just a moment. These lessons are the point, element of visual language and exploration, creativity, and productivity. Artistic exploration of creativity.
V-ați propus vreodată să realizați, în primul rând, atunci cineva de ce să nu explică?
Start to listen at the same time, but you hear my voice. I insert a voice in the presentation.
V-ați propus vreodată să realizați un dessin care să reprezinte corpul uman, să spunem, un personaj?
I try to show you not too at once, but one. Here's is better. Okay. In the beginning of the presentation, you see here okay. In the beginning of the presentation, you see a video introduction of me and the lesson. In the first part, the first part is presented the theory about the point. I use here some animation and images and the text. The text is in Romanian, and you see this is just a moment. Okay. Okay. It's upload. So, I will try to present in some way. You see there some information, some data that is presented in a sequence way. And this I obtained in the PowerPoint. If I show you here, animation panel, and you see in the right some of the animation I use for this slide. On this lesson, I use the drawing on the screen, and if I start the mix, this is the area I use this instrument. You see here okay. You see here the I switch. It's upload hard, that's a problem. But I will try here. Maybe we'll, okay. I just present what you see here. For demonstration, I see I have a problem, but you try to see what it's on the screen. This is a drawing on the screen to explain how to achieve this result. And you see this is the explanation and the moment I draw.
Well, we have some difficulties in the presentation, so I think it would be better if we gave you the link where you can find exactly what we wanted to send to you, to tell you. So we'll send you the link for Nico's presentation. Do you have questions? Can you hear us? Do you have questions?
I can still hear you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we posted the link.
So, the lesson is very interesting. If you can watch it online, you will see that Nico is using voice, video presentation, and students can access this lesson at home and to learn more about it and to practice on what he's telling about in the lesson. It's a new way to make online lessons and interactive lessons. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Diana, urmează Diana, da? Avem pe Diana, urmează eu. Okay. Our next guest is Diana Bejan, a physics teacher at the National College of Computer Science in Piatra-Neamţ. She speaks on behalf of the physics teachers department. She is an innovative teacher in Microsoft programs. She has prepared a lot of students who have won several awards in the competitions organized by NASA and ESA. Today, she will present a blog entitled Creating a Physics Learning Community using virtual environments, and which was created by the teachers in our department.
Hello, everybody. As Claudia says, myself and my colleagues, all of us are physics teachers, and we want to have a place when we can have our teaching ideas and all the materials that we have done. Our ideas start with our national physics contest that we have yesterday. So the blog is around this competition. The principal page here contain some messages from us to our colleagues. The last one is a success message for all the competitors in ProSoft at NT competitions that I think it will be a great success of our school team. So, about our physics contest. We have here our set of rules. I think that our contest is an innovator one because we provoke teams of 3 students from different Romanian counties to participate at 3-hour physics competition structured in 2 modules, a theoretical one and experimental one. The 3 students are from 1 of 9, 10, and 11 grades, and they must work together to solve the subjects. I start with the theoretical part. We have here the subjects. All the blocks is in Romanian, but I think that it's easy to understand because the scientific language is universal, and here I have the subjects from our yesterday competition. The practical part here with images from all the experimental setups and the working sheets. Yes? Handouts. Handouts. Yeah. The handouts. And here we have a photo gallery from the contest. There are our students' team from different counties. And one of our students, passionate by physics and IT, created a short film about the competition, and I want to show to you. I hope it will work. So this is only the beginning, because we have in the future, as a future plan, realizing a digital book of experiments. We already have here some worksheets. Okay. Okay. Yes. So this is all I want to say.
Do you have any questions? Thank you.
We are very glad to discuss all together in this morning. And if you want to say something about our session, please, you are my guest. Soma, if you have any question?
It was a very interesting interaction that we've had, and I would like to continue with the partnership in future with like most of the people. I really liked the presentations from your school, ma'am, the kind of projects that your teachers have come up with. So we would certainly like to go in for partnership. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your kindly words. Thank you. Elena, please. If you want to say something to us.
Oh, thank you so much for today. It was wonderful to meet some new people here with whom we'd love to continue our collaboration and to share email addresses so we can collaborate both online and offline. It's also great to see all familiar faces from Romania. So thank you for this event. It was really interesting, beautiful presentations, and great speeches. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your event. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you very much for hosting this and having me on. I think this is an excellent use of the digital paradigm that I was talking about, and I look forward to seeing more of these conferences.
Yes, thank you, Paul. I confess I wish to be your student to our course. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, and goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Sperăm că pentru prima încercare, pentru prima încercare a fost reușită. Ne-am confruntat cu mulțime de probleme de diverse feluri. În primul rând tehnice, dar am văzut. Noi când am făcut repetiția cu